All right, guys, it's time to talk Star Wars. With the Acolyte coming out, there's been a lot of buzz in the Star Wars world, a lot of noise. I'm a big all-time nerd. I love Star Wars. I grew up with it. It's something that's super important to me. And at the same time, I was going through social media today and I saw an ad for the Star Wars Hunter game on Nintendo Switch. And I happen to have my Nintendo Switch plugged in. And I thought, what better time to address some Star Wars than now? I feel like it's all just lining up. I got some thoughts. I want to share them. So we'll just get right into the gameplay, a little bit of background noise, and let's get right into it. Alright guys, so first off, I just want to talk about the game. I literally saw this game today, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to throw it a download. It looks kind of cool. We'll get it going. You can obviously see at the beginning here, I'm struggling to figure out the controls. I don't play a lot of video games like this on my Nintendo Switch. You know, I play a lot of older Mario games, newer Mario games, but I feel like those were more made for the Switch, so the controls make a little bit more sense. You know, I do play a lot of Call of Duty and other video games like that, so it was a little bit of weird of an adjustment period, but I will say, dude, this was a super cool little game, especially if you're just trying to hop on and chill for a little bit, maybe talk some things out like I'm doing tonight. It is shared with mobile. I don't know if Nintendo Switch players and mobile players are in the same lobby, but if they are, that might make a little bit of sense about why I was doing so well, dude. It came to me. I'm a pretty decent gamer. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to brag. I'm not that bad of a gamer, and I kind of just hopped onto this one, and it just felt right. It felt nice. Obviously, I struggled a little bit at the beginning, but it came together kind of fast. And so just if you're looking for it, it's called Star Wars Hunters. It was a pretty fun game. Again, it's nothing crazy. I don't know if you're going to be able to spend hours and hours on it, but if you're a Star Wars fan and you're just looking for a game to relax on, I don't know, man. I did thoroughly enjoy my time playing it tonight to make a little bit of background for this video. But the thing is, bro, now we got to get into the important stuff. The Acolyte has come out. I want to say this. I grew up on the Star Wars movies. I was the right age for the prequel era. I love the prequel era. I know it gets a lot of hate. The original trilogy obviously also holds a very special place in my heart. Those movies are absolutely unbelievable. Revenge of the Sith is my favorite Star Wars. I recently have gone back and started watching all the cartoons. I watched a little bit of the Clone Wars growing up, not a ton. I've gone back to it now as an adult because all my friends like to call me a fake Star Wars fan. You're a fake Star Wars fan. No, dude, I grew up with Star Wars Legos. I grew up with Star Wars video games. I grew up with the movies. I'm a Star Wars fan. Sorry if I didn't watch all the animated stuff. But I will say also, if you don't watch the animated stuff, it's a great watch. Coming from someone that didn't watch it until they were in their adult years, it's a great watch. I highly recommend it. But yeah, bottom line, I'm a big Star Wars fan. This Disney era of Star Wars is something that's really sad to see, but I feel like we're all getting so caught up into the negative of what this Disney era has become. And Disney has produced a few good things. Rogue One, I think, is a great film. Solo, I think, is somewhat enjoyable. Episode 7, I think, is somewhat enjoyable. The rest is pretty horrendous, pretty scary stuff. And it's just crazy to me that like these companies will take... Star Wars is debatably one of the best IPs on the planet, dude. There's so much you can do with it. There's so much. I don't even know where to start. You can do so much with it, and they're kind of tarnishing it. But again, the point I want to make is Star Wars has given us so much, and it gave me so much in my childhood that I want us to remember all the good parts about it too, because we have to remember at a point in time the prequel trilogy was hated. Am I saying that the prequel trilogy is anything like what Disney made? No. What Disney made is 9 times 1,000 more horrendous than anything the prequel trilogy ever was. And I'm sorry, but that's just the truth of the matter. If you go back and you watch Revenge of the Sith is a great movie. I don't even care if you're a Star Wars fan or not. It has a great story. Sure, there's some memeable parts, but the whole thing, and Anakin's descent into madness and turning on everyone, I mean, it's a real good movie. Disney cannot say that about anything they've done. Even The Mandalorian, man. I know The Mandalorian is great and it shows us part of the Star Wars universe, but I just don't think there's a real great story there. I feel like it's a lot of just bouncing around, kind of just showing us more Star Wars, not really a developed, thought-out story. Which, again, I'm not complaining about if there was stuff with a good story, if that makes sense. Like, I'm all for exploring the universe and giving us kind of these things as like a money grab and just showing us things that like don't really have like a cohesive story. But I need the stuff with a good story too, like Rogue One. It made sense in the universe. It had a great story and it was thoroughly enjoyable. I have heard a point that Star Wars is going to have to die before it starts to get rebuilt again, and I think that might be the truth of the matter. The one thing I just can't wrap my head around is how all these people who made the Acolyte don't seem to know anything about Star Wars and clearly aren't Star Wars fans, and it's super frustrating. And then on top of that, to give the reins to someone like that, I don't know what's going on at Disney, and it's super frustrating because I liked a lot of Disney stuff back in the day too, but Disney's just going down the wrong path, and it's really hard to watch. It's really hard to see, especially as a lifetime Star Wars fan. But I guess And there's so I kind of want to end this video with something that I want to see in the Star Wars world, but I don't even know what it is. Maybe some more stuff about the clones after the Fall of the Jedi and Order 66 and all that. And I will say Order 66 is the best sequence in movie history in my opinion. Just Order 66 on in Revenge of the Sith episode 3. I mean, episode 3 is so perfect in so many ways, but that whole sequence, episode 3 is just such a great movie. I love it. So, I don't know, maybe explore some more of that stuff. I don't really know. But if I had time, let me know if you want me to make a video on that, because I can guarantee you I can get down to it, sit down, and make a great Star Wars story. I mean, you guys see it on the internet. Some of these fan things that people do are just unbelievable. One of my favorite videos on YouTube, I'll shout it out right now, is Before the Dark Times. I watch that all the time. That's such a great piece of Star Wars media. And it's from these people who care. You know, at the end of the day, the people that were Star Wars aren't these activist people. It was us. It was kind of the nerds, bro. The people that didn't really fit into a certain spot. We found something that we liked, and it was this story of good versus evil. And that's the other thing, dude. Hollywood is just trying to blur this good versus evil line. They want you to not believe in anything, which I think is horrible. There's a good and there's an evil, and that's what Star Wars originally was. But now they're trying to blend it, and they're not just doing it in Star Wars, kind of the real world too. But that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what I want to see moving forward. So I guess my finishing up thoughts were, good game. I love Star Wars. I hope Star Wars finds its way back into the light, because it is something that's super important to me, and I do love it, and I think you guys love it too. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, comment, give me any suggestions, any things you want to see, anything you want me to do, and we're all just going to keep crushing it every single day, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See you this side of the next.